I am Ruth-Ann Thorn, and I've been an art dealer for more than 2 decades, working with artists from all over the world. I've always wondered, do artists create from within, or are they influenced by their surroundings? And why do they choose where they live? What do they get from their environment? If they were to live somewhere else, would their art be different? These are the questions we will answer as we explore cities across the country in Art of the City. Today we're going into the studio of Nocona, Native American artist, and we're going to see some of his amazing paintings of Comanche people. And I'm really excited to see his work, but I'm also excited to hear the history of where he comes from. Thank you so much for having me here, Nocona, and
welcome.
I've been a fan of your work. I've seen it a couple times, obviously at Indian Market.
Right. Originally from Oklahoma,
Okay.
kind of grew up all over the country. Instead of being like a military brat, I was an education brat. My dad and mom have, degrees. My dad's got a couple master's degrees and PhDs. So we were kind of like, whenever he got a new degree, we were off to Pennsylvania, Montana. He was the head of department here, teaching this, doing that. So they had it tough, So, and I've always told myself, and my parents worked hard to give me a good life, even when they were going to school and working, tough jobs and stuff. They still provided. They made sure that I had what I needed. And as we kind of slowly grew together, because my parents were teenagers when they had me. And so we just kind of slowly grew together.
Like how old? Teenager?
My mom was 19 and my dad was 18.
Wow.
My dad
Young
jokes that I made all his graduations. So I made high school, junior college, master's, PhD,
Did you have any adversity growing up?
My mom was one of 8 children. She was poor. And her dad is actually a code talker in the U.S. Army in World War II. And so they had some, that was the Comanche code talkers in the Army. That
Heritage is so ingrained in your DNA and who you are, but yet, through our own country, we've had to figure out being, on the poverty line.
Right.
I mean, what a success story that your parents were able to get through all of this and through, blood, sweat, and tears, literally. Where was that moment that it kind of turned for you when you said, okay, I'm all in, I'm gonna be a professional artist?
I think I missed it. When I was doing all the casino stuff, I noticed that I'd been missing. Like, I wasn't playing instruments, I wasn't painting, I wasn't drawing, I was just working, 2 cell phones, and so and it took a lot, and I knew that I couldn't start back up. I knew I needed to get back and finish my degree. I needed assignments, I needed projects, so it was good for me not only to get my degree, but to get in an art program that says, okay, you've got 3 paintings to do by the end of the month, so I kind of got into that routine of painting on a schedule. So these 2 paintings are both Quanah Parker. They're my great-great-grandfather, my mom's side. My mom's actually, her name is Lenora Parker. And so he's my great-great-grandfather. He's my granddad's granddad. And on these pieces, I actually put wooden letters mounted on there, and they're Comanche work. So Quahati means the antelope people. And so I just kind of put that on there. And then on this one, it says Numu. In Comanche, we call ourselves Numanu, but Numu means like one individual Comanche. And so I just kind of use those words and spelling, just, something different, something contemporary.
Amazing.
I've traveled around the world doing lectures about Comanche culture, my family culture, which is Chief Quanah Parker. I'm a descendant of Quanah Parker.
Wow, that's a pretty rich history.
Yeah, and so I always kind of tie that in with the art that I'm painting. And even if I'm not painting Comanches, I'm trying to find history or stories to tell on these canvases about these people, because I paint real people. They're not stylized Indians or, noble savages. These are real people from photographs.
So you have the history, kind of the lineage when you paint. Your work is really chronicling the history of your own tribe, and then also other research that you've done, which pulls in, your educational background, your roots from your parents, what and it's poured out onto the canvas. It's going to be here forever. And the other thing I really love is I know that the images you're looking at are all black and white.
Right.
And these are bringing them to life in full color, which is so cool.
I always say that. I said, I feel like I'm breathing life back into them, because there are red blankets and purple blankets and bandanas and face, and I've done a series of some contemporary Native women archers, and so I do contemporary people, because I always want to tell people, our story didn't end in 1890 or 1920. We're still, I said, these are the same people. We're the same people. We're just wearing, polos and blue jeans. And
14,000 years documented, and we're still here.
Right. And that's what I said. We're no different. I said, we're wearing different clothes. It's a different time. It's a different fight. Some of us are, fighting. Some of us are, making our way through different resources of education and casino and gambling and timber and fishing rights and water rights and all. I said, so we're still doing the same things. And that's kind of the main thing. Is like, no matter how successful or how much money you got in the bank, or how many magazine covers you've been on, you gotta take care of your people. Like I said, my parents came from a tough background. There weren't all these programs when they were younger and going up, and even me. And so I just really make sure that I kind of pay attention to the what's happening with people in need and things like that, and make sure that I'm helping take care of them, pitching in. So that's what I'd like my legacy to be.
Meeting with Nocona today has been so amazing, because I've learned so much about the rich history that he comes from, and the fact that he's actually royalty when it comes to Native American history. And his parents really played a very important role in pushing forward education for themselves, and then also for him. And I see that he has taken all of those giftings and he's bringing it together now with his artwork. And it's acting as not only great art, but great historical material, so everybody can really learn about his history as a Comanche. And the work itself is just passionate and beautiful, and what a great person and a great artist, and I just enjoyed every minute of it. So we've adventured in this amazing place called Santa Fe, New Mexico. What an incredible journey. We got to meet 4 absolutely incredible artists, all of Native American descent. And we've heard their stories and we've seen their artwork, and it's been such an amazing adventure. I hope you enjoyed Art of the City Santa Fe. And what a great place to end it, right here in the middle of the sacred hoop dancing circle, where more artists are sure to come. So join us for the next episode of Art of the City.